Football, a sport captivating billions globally, evokes a sense of unfulfilled potential in India. The beautiful game, as it is often called, has a unique ability to unite people across continents, transcending language and cultural barriers. From the bustling streets of Rio de Janeiro to the serene fields of rural England, football is a universal language. Yet, in India, a country with a population exceeding 1.3 billion, the sport has not reached the heights one might expect. Despite its vast population and enthusiastic fans, the nation's footballing prowess stands at a dismal 100th in FIFA rankings. This low ranking is perplexing, especially when considering the passion and energy that Indian fans bring to the sport. Stadiums filled with tricolour flags and the echoes of chants and cheers paint a picture of a nation in love with football. However, this love has not translated into success on the international stage. This is a stark contrast to countries like Syria and North Korea, ranked 88th and 112th respectively, enduring political turmoil and economic hardship. These nations, despite facing significant challenges, have managed to carve out a niche for themselves in the footballing world. Their stories are a testament to the resilience and determination of their players and the support of their fans. Syria, ravaged by civil war, has witnessed its infrastructure crumble. Football stadiums lie in ruins, and yet the spirit of the game persists. Syrian players train in makeshift facilities, often under dire conditions, driven by a passion that refuses to be extinguished. Their journey is one of hope and perseverance, a beacon of light in the darkest of times. North Korea, under stringent sanctions, grapples with economic isolation. The country faces numerous challenges, from limited resources to restricted access to international competitions. Yet, the North Korean football team continues to push boundaries, showcasing their skills and determination on the field. Their story is one of grit and tenacity, a reminder that passion can thrive even in the most challenging environments. Yet on the football field, they surpass India, a nation experiencing relative stability and economic growth. This juxtaposition raises questions about the factors that contribute to footballing success. Is it merely about resources and infrastructure, or is there something more intangible at play? The stories of Syria and North Korea suggest that heart, determination, and a deep-seated love for the game can sometimes outweigh material advantages. This paradox underscores a deeper malaise within Indian football, a tale of missed opportunities and a struggle to reclaim past glory. The empty stadiums and the dejected faces of players tell a story of unfulfilled potential. Missed goals and lost matches are not just statistics, they are symbols of a nation grappling with its footballing identity. India's journey in football is not devoid of brilliance. There have been moments of triumph, flashes of brilliance that have lit up the footballing world. These moments are etched in the memories of fans, a reminder of what could be achieved with the right support and infrastructure. It boasts a rich history, marked by periods of dominance and iconic victories. The tales of legendary players and historic matches are part of India's footballing folklore. These stories inspire new generations of players and fans, keeping the flame of hope alive. The early 20th century saw Indian football rise to prominence in Asia, with clubs like Mohun Bagan etching their names in history. Their victories were not just sporting achievements, they were symbols of national pride and resilience. The legacy of these early pioneers continues to inspire and motivate. The national team, under the astute leadership of Syed Abdul Rahim, reached unprecedented heights, clinching gold medals in the Asian Games. Rahim's vision and leadership transformed Indian football, setting standards that are still revered today. His era was a golden chapter in the annals of Indian football. However, these golden chapters are interspersed with periods of stagnation and decline. The once thriving football culture began to wane, and the sport struggled to maintain its foothold. The reasons for this decline are multifaceted, ranging from administrative challenges to lack of investment in grassroots development. The post-Rahim era witnessed a gradual slump, with India struggling to keep pace with the evolving global football landscape. As other nations advanced, embracing new techniques and technologies, India lagged behind. The gap widened, and the dream of regaining past glory seemed increasingly elusive. This essay delves into the captivating journey of Indian football, exploring its meteoric rise, its unfortunate downfall, and the ongoing quest for revival. It is a story of hope, resilience, and the undying spirit of a nation that refuses to give up on its footballing dreams. The journey is far from over, and with renewed focus and determination, Indian football can once again aspire to reach the heights it once knew. The seeds of a football in India were sown not by native sons, but by colonial rulers. The British, with their far-reaching empire, brought with them not just governance and trade, but also their cultural pastimes. Among these, football stood out as a sport that would eventually captivate the Indian subcontinent. The British in the late 19th century brought with them their beloved sport, introducing it to the Indian populace. Initially, it was a game played within the confines of British Army cantonments and exclusive colonial clubs. The sport was a way for the British to maintain a semblance of their homeland, a familiar activity in an unfamiliar land. Initially confined to army cantonments and colonial clubs, football gradually permeated the Indian social fabric. The sight of British soldiers and officers playing this energetic game piqued the curiosity of the local population. Slowly but surely, the game began to spread beyond the walls of the cantonments. The game's simplicity, requiring minimal equipment and adaptable to varied playing surfaces, resonated with Indians. Unlike other sports that required elaborate setups, football could be played almost anywhere. This accessibility made it an attractive option for many Indians who were looking for new forms of recreation. From dusty fields to makeshift pitches, football took root, capturing the imagination of a nation yearning for recreation and a sense of identity distinct from their colonial overlords. The game became a symbol of resistance and a way to assert a unique identity. It was more than just a sport, it was a statement. As the sport gained traction, local clubs began to emerge, challenging the dominance of British teams. These clubs were often formed by enthusiastic young men who saw football as a way to challenge the colonial status quo. Matches between Indian and British teams became highly anticipated events, drawing large crowds and fostering a sense of community. These nascent clubs, often formed along ethnic or regional lines, became focal points for social gatherings and a burgeoning sense of national pride. Football matches were not just sporting events, they were social occasions where people from different walks of life came together. The sport served as a unifying force, bringing together diverse communities. The nascent stages of Indian football were marked by a blend of curiosity and hesitant embrace. While some were quick to adopt the new sport, others were more cautious, unsure of how it fit into their traditional ways of life. Yet the allure of the game was undeniable, and its popularity continued to grow. The sport was seen as a novel pastime, a colonial import yet to fully capture the nation's sporting imagination. However, the seeds had been planted, and the game was slowly but surely taking root. People began to see football not just as a British game, but as a sport that could be uniquely Indian. However, beneath the surface, a quiet revolution was brewing, one that would see football rise to challenge the supremacy of traditional Indian sports. The early Indian footballers, with their growing skill and enthusiasm, laid the foundation for what would become a rich and storied tradition. The genesis of Indian football was not just the birth of a sport, but the beginning of a cultural movement that would leave an indelible mark on the nation's history. The year 1888 witnessed a pivotal moment in Indian football history, the inception of the Durand Cup. Named after Sir Mortimer Durand, the then Foreign Secretary of India, the tournament was conceived as a platform to promote camaraderie amongst British Army units. However, the Durand Cup quickly transcended its initial objective. Indian teams, initially hesitant to participate, gradually recognized the tournament's potential. It became a stage to showcase their skills and challenge the perceived superiority of British teams. The emergence of clubs like Mohun Bagan in 1889 further fueled the growth of Indian football. Named after the locality of its founders in Calcutta, now Kolkata, Mohun Bagan quickly rose to prominence, becoming a symbol of national pride and sporting excellence. The Durand Cup, with its blend of British organisation and burgeoning Indian talent, became a melting pot of footballing cultures. It laid the foundation for organised football in India, fostering competition and camaraderie in a nation on the cusp of social and political transformation. The year 1911 etched an indelible mark in the annals of Indian football history. It was a time when the sport was still in its infancy in the country, yet it held the potential to unite and inspire a nation under colonial rule. Mohun Bagan, a club barely 2 decades old, achieved the unthinkable, defeating the reigning IFA Shield champions East Yorkshire Regiment. This victory was not just a win on the field, it was a triumph of spirit and determination, showcasing the grit and tenacity of the Indian players. This victory was not merely a sporting triumph, it was a resounding statement of Indian capability on a stage dominated by colonial rulers. It was a moment that resonated deeply with the Indian populace, who saw in it a reflection of their own struggles and aspirations for freedom. The match, played on July 29, 1911, at Calcutta's Maiden Grounds, captured the imagination of a nation yearning for self-assertion. The Maidan, a sprawling ground in the heart of Calcutta, became the stage for this historic encounter, drawing thousands of spectators who came to witness history in the making. Mohun Bagan, comprising barefoot players, displayed exceptional skill and resilience against the formidable British team. The sight of these players, undeterred by the lack of proper footwear, battling it out against a well-equipped opponent, became a symbol of defiance and courage. The final whistle, signalling Mohun Bagan's 2-1 victory, sparked unprecedented jubilation. It was a moment of pure ecstasy as the players and fans alike celebrated a victory that seemed almost impossible at the outset. The streets of Calcutta erupted in celebration as news of the triumph spread like wildfire across the country. People from all walks of life joined in the festivities, united by a shared sense of pride and joy. The victory served as a potent symbol of national pride, demonstrating that Indians, even in the realm of sport, were capable of challenging colonial hegemony. It was a reminder that the spirit of the nation could not be subdued, and that victory was possible even against the most formidable of foes. The 1911 IFA Shield triumph transcended the boundaries of sport. It became a beacon of hope and a source of inspiration for millions, showing that perseverance and unity could overcome even the greatest of challenges. It ignited a sense of confidence and national awakening, proving to be a watershed moment in the history of Indian football. The victory was not just about a game, it was about a nation's journey towards self-discovery and empowerment. The victory laid the foundation for future generations of footballers, inspiring them to strive for excellence on the world stage. It showed that with determination and hard work, even the most daunting obstacles could be overcome, and that dreams could indeed become reality.